my end.
Don't worry about what you see. They can't see that.
Okay.
Jeez, you can still hear me?
I didn't hear you.
Oh,
You
you
were
didn't hear
telling
me.
me who was there, and then it was like,
All right. Well, anyway, I'm not frozen anymore. Trainer Tips, Fleece King, Couple of Gaming, Trainer Club, Swagron, Joe Landor Alpha, and Zoe Two Dots. So yeah, we've been talking about Fleece. We had some little bit of a clash. He kind of thought I was calling him out. I'm happy to say that I saw Fleece. Initially, there was no bad blood. Gave each other a pound. Later on in the day, when we had a moment, I pulled him aside. I talked to him. We squashed whatever was there. He was exceptionally kind. Told me what happened in Vegas with Poké, and we moved on. He's a very sweet guy. So I've always said that from the beginning. I told him, like, dude, I'm not trying to push a narrative. Just to give a little backstory of what he said, he couldn't understand with my philosophy of not liking Poké, but still wanting him to be a podcast guest. Now, he knew that it wasn't a lured up guest, but he was like, I just don't see, if you don't like the guy, why would you want him as a guest? And I was like, one, because people want to hear from him, and two, he's like a white whale guest. I can't get him on Lured Up. He won't come on this show. I go, and three, because it's just covering the community. It's less personal than you think when you're just talking about bringing someone in on a show as a guest. But he had a hard time understanding that, and I get that. But we shook hands. We squashed it. We hung out for the day. We went out to eat afterwards. It's all good. So I can't talk about what went down at this Niantic visit, but I can mention that I got to preview a new feature, and it's awesome. And I can't talk about it any further. But
wait, was this about the remote raid passes?
No, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Because people lost their damn minds that this trip happened, and people really lost their minds about me, specifically. I'll link to this tweet in the description. I recommend everyone checks it out and goes through the comments, because there's some doozies. And I mean, by doozies, I mean some grade A, top quality Ken hate that I can't even repeat on the show. That's how terrible they are. But by terrible, I mean they are like internet gold. Like, so funny. I was pissing myself reading some of these responses. Well done, Twitter. Don't change. Actually change, because you're terrible. All right. So a lot of crazy responses in here that I can't talk about, but this happened. And I just think this was a really important trip. I think getting creators in front of new features is awesome, because they get to represent their communities. They get to directly share community feedback. Zoe tweeted about it today. Mega Pincer came out. They forgot to turn it on in New Zealand. Once again, New Zealand getting the shaft. So all of a sudden, my phone is blowing up. Zoe's phone is blowing up. Nick Trainer Tips we all start walking towards Niantic. And Zoe's like, oh shit. Bip, 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 and shows them directly. And like that, they're on the phone. A flurry of activity ensued. The transfer of feedback could not have come any quicker. It was like Zoe's phone blows up. Hey, Niantic, your shit's broke. And it was pretty awesome. It got fixed really quickly, but it was a really important meeting to happen, because it's shifting to a much more community-based interest. And a lot of people had a hard time seeing that. From my perspective, they already called me a bootlicker and a shill because I believe in Niantic's vision, right? And I didn't lose my mind over Heroes Niantic or remote raid pass changes. I wasn't against it, so I'm a shill.
Meanwhile, I agree to disagree.
Sure.
But in a different way. I'm not, like, I understand everything goes up, and, like, it's just the economy. Like,
but you still protested with your time and money.
Right.
Not
so
protesting with hate on Twitter.
and I still have barely been raiding, even in person raiding. I just don't do it. I've just kind of slowed down raiding in general.
Does it
Like I
make
said, I've
raids
done
feel more
two.
special when you do them?
I guess because Druddigon, like I want the shiny, so Jamal saying, "Hey, I got a Druddigon. You want one?" Yeah, because they know that I want it bad. Do I want to spend 10,000 coins to get the shiny? No. Will I use the other two remote raid passes for Druddigon? Most likely. But will I buy more? Probably not.
So, what ended up happening was people losing their minds in the comments, going like, "I hope you brought up the remote raid pass thing. I hope that's why you were there."
But it's I mean this in the nicest way, but it's asinine to think that Niantic has not heard, has not read, because you've threatened their employees. You've targeted their employee. Of course they've seen it. They're not responding to threats. You know what I mean? Just in general, they're not responding to threats, and that's what this has become.
And
It has
yeah,
become a threat. It has become like, oh, you need to do this, or we're going to do this, and it's like that's not how. Like the best way to respond is with your time and your money. So
yep.
stop playing the game if it makes you that angry. Stop spending money if you feel that way.
That's the best
Be
way
the
to.
change you want to see.
That's what I
If
mean.
you
Either way, wherever you fall on the scale, there's ways that you can make an impact.
Exactly.
And
I don't think everybody sees that.
no, because shouting into the void and being rude about it.
Yelling on TikTok, or not TikTok, yelling on Twitter is not going to get you anywhere.
No, will constructive feedback on Twitter get you anywhere? Sure.
Possibly.
Of course. But if you're out there going
It'll
like,
get you a good conversation.
sure. But if you're out there
sure.
going F you, no one's going to listen to that. The people that you want to listen to you will not listen to you if you're like saying F you. They just won't. Why would they? Why should they? So everyone was here asking me like, hey, I'd hope you talked about that. It's like Niantic didn't fly a bunch of creators from around the world to their office for them to be like, hey guys, remote raid pass changes suck. No, we're there to preview an event or a mechanic. All right, so I was there. Can't talk about it. Info on that will come. Now I want to get.
I'm glad it was just you, because then
Let me explain. Let me explain my
no. I'm
my
glad
trip.
it was just you, because the last time we did a short trip, and this one was even shorter, it was a lot. It was a lot.
When we did Adam and I did Los Angeles for Ultra Beast Incursion. What were we? We were on the ground for like 36 hours, right? Like it was in and out. So this trip for me to Niantic, I was in Washington. I was there for 18 hours. It was
way shorter.
It
than
was
what we
nuts.
Had. Yeah.
It was nuts. I left work on Thursday night, 5:00. I drove right to the airport. My flight was delayed 4 hours. I landed in Washington at 1:30 a.m. West Coast time. I got to my hotel at 2:30 a.m. And yeah, fucking $65 Uber to the hotel, which sucked. I wake up, I go for a morning grind, I meet up with the group, we do our thing. We all go out to eat, not all of us, but most of us went out to eat afterwards. As soon as we were done eating, back to the airport. I was on a plane, took a red eye back to Jersey, landed at 5:30, 6 a.m. I landed, got my car, drove my ass right to work. It was crazy. I took one day.
That sounds like a really like fancy vacation.
It was not. It was terrible. It was a horrible on my body. It was really rough, but this is something that I'm proud of. I was the only, like Joe Landor works a job. We're part-time. This is not easy thing for part-time creators to pull off.
Right.
And if in order to do this, like I can't take a week off of work. I took 1 day off of work. Left after work. I showed up. My ass was on time on Thursday morning. It's a challenge. It's a struggle. I'm still tired as hell. But it was awesome.
Well, we got to pump out content. We got to get this out.
Yeah,
so.
that's why we're here. So, I do want to talk about some of the bullshit that is.
Oh, that's my favorite.
That has come along this week. Let's see. Wait, let me pull this one up. Oh, let's go to Pokémon, who, in my opinion, is potentially one of the most toxic people on Twitter. I had put up my announcement saying, super excited to visit the Niantic Labs office tomorrow. She writes, I really can't believe they chose literally the most toxic creator in the community to be picked for an exclusive experience. Like, why just? Because he will probably rapidly defend every bad decision that they make. So she also knocks Niantic in this. So she's asking Niantic a question and then knocking Niantic. They don't care how toxic he is. Hashtag Heroes Niantic. And this comes from Jay Engels21, another special person on Twitter, who had said, all the digital deriding has finally culminated into the real thing. Good luck to these two lovebirds. Dude, there's some gold. There's some gold. People really going off on me.
This is good.
And you got all Pokémom's cronies, tagging the community manager, like, why would you choose someone so toxic? And, the others are fine, but someone so toxic should not be given this opportunity. All he does is defend their awful decisions. I get Lando and Couple of Gaming are invited, but why, Ken? Yeah, probably because I am honest and talk about it as it is, and call out the crap as I see it, like this. So, I just want to talk about the state of the community, because the game in person, I'm speaking from my experience, in-person gaming, ramping up. It's ramping up. It's ramping up. You may not like to hear that, folks, but it is, in my experience, in my area.
And with warmer weather, they go hand in hand.
Correct.
It's going to happen. People are out walking because it's nice out.
Ace Trainer Ferg in the chat says that this game is heading to cater to a more casual player now. I don't know about catering, but definitely making it more accessible. 100%. 100%. Great conversations going on in the chat, by the way. I see you, chat, so keep it going. But a lot of emotions, a lot of energy has been taken out, surprisingly, on some of the other creators that went too. I was very shocked to see some of Fleece's community turn on him, going, you sold us out. You talked all this smack about Niantic, and now you're working with them for a paycheck? How dare you?
Oh, my God.
I was like, oh, my God. They're not just going after me. I heard people taking knocks on Zoe. Zoe, of all people, who's like the purest soul on earth. And they're going to
she's a good egg.
She is a good egg. And they're going to call her a sellout and say that, come on, man. It's wild. The Silph Road thing has spawned some very interesting negativity, and I want to call it out because this is what I'm doing. JRE Seawolf, who's like the bane of Ken's existence. I could say good morning on Twitter, and he'll be like, no, it's not. Like, he'll just figure out a way to, I don't know, discredit my
the best thing is
enjoyment of weather.
If you don't like Ken, just
don't interact.
Or
no, interact with me, please. Help our Twitter. You guys have been doing great for us. Thank you. JRE Seawolf, in response to the Community Ambassador Program being taken over by Niantic. He shares the link and says, This program is doomed without the Silph Road, and Niantic used the good folks at Silph to get it going, likely without any intention of retaining Silph beyond their 1-year partnership. There, I said it. It's been one heck of a week, month, year. So I had posted, I'll pull it up here, my announcement of, hey, community ambassadors, the future of Pokemon Go community ambassador program will be revamped and reopened through Campfire. More info coming soon. I share the link. Jerry Seawolf had to chime in. So this program is doomed without Silph. Niantic retained them to get it going and then dropped them like they had always intended. This is not a turd you can polish easily, man. This is what I wrote back. Of course, I have to do my pitter-patter fighting, like slap fighting on Twitter. I say, wow, dude, I don't know what you have going on, but you really come off as being damaged. If you ever want to talk offline, I'm available. That's me going like this to him. But then, of course, I give my serious response where I say, yes, a 1-year contract is intended to end after 1 year. So your spin that Niantic dropped the Silph Road is misleading and pessimistic. Of course, the contract is over. The sponsorship is over. They didn't drop them like a bad habit. No. Contract lapsed. Niantic didn't retain the Silph Road. They sponsored them. It provided a safety net for a year of life with a bonus of it being ad-free. Thinking that it was a negative is exceptionally naive. It's kind of saying like this was their diabolical plot all along. Dromps said they were having trouble with operational costs. Niantic came in and at a very timely time and gave him a year of life. How is that bad? I also call him out by saying, do you not see that calling the Community Ambassador Program a turd, you're also calling the Silph Road a turd? It's so disrespectful to the amazing team at Silph that worked on the program. He's saying, like, Niantic can't just take over the Community Ambassador Program through Campfire. They can't polish a turd. It's like, dude, fucking Silph worked on this. I know people that busted their ass on this program. As previously mentioned, just like rebuilding in-person communities through raiding, making the Community Ambassador Program flourish will take significant effort. That's why it bothers me when I see people posting screenshots of an empty raid lobby complaining that people aren't showing up. It's not that easy, and nothing will just happen without effort and a lot of it. I see that all the time on Twitter. Like the picture of one person in a lobby going, Niantic, where are all your in-person players? Why am I alone? It's not. This isn't Field of Dreams, right? It's not like if you build it, they will come.
Why am I alone?
Because you didn't coordinate.
A mega pincer.
And then
in person,
I speak from some experience. I said my local, and I've talked about this before. My local Red Bank, New Jersey community. Shout to Joe Fusion. I go, their community leaders busted their butts to join the program and were faced with unresolved challenge after challenge. In fairness, they had a horrible experience with the program. No one is saying it was flawless. However, what we are saying is that we want it to succeed in the future. Some good conversation in the comments. It's not exactly rare in the tech world to onboard a team for a set contract, absorb as much of that project as you can, and then drop the staff to cut costs. Not privy to the behind the scenes here, but I think you don't have to be damaged to raise an eyebrow. And I wrote, fair, but raising an eyebrow and constant thread bombing and gloom and doom are very different. I want to be super critical of the situation too. I just look at it through a different lens. That's from Chad A. Chavez. Because what JRE has a tendency to do is bomb threads. Niantic will post about anything. You better believe JRE will be in there saying something inappropriate. Like this. And I posted this the other day. This was Niantic's 2-day Peridot announcement thread, and I had posted like, hey, you want to see some toxicity, go look at this shit.
Listen, that's like...
Look, Poke AK is here. You got some real shitty ones in here. People just saying...
Cochino Mom is all up against you.
Of course she is.
There's like an entire post from 7 hours ago that's just like... For those that are upset with the news about Silph, please don't engage with LURED Up.
He loves it.
He enjoys other people's pain. It'll just make you feel worse. Why Niantic Labs chooses to support someone toxic, but the Silph
She's so toxic. It's so funny.
I don't know.
Um,
And the comments are gold though.
I know.
Like,
Dude,
I think this is even better.
it's so good, so good. But you'll see like in here like people just ripping apart Niantic Peridot team about this. You know, all the Singaporean grandmothers said the game sucks and you should listen to people who play Pokemon Go. Use your eyes and ears. Hear us, Niantic. Film vlogs. 2 days until bugs, glitches, and battery life on Peridot will not be succeed for the foreseeable future of AR games. How about fix Pokemon Go and sell off Peridot to other gaming companies that can handle gaming professionally? Hashtag Hear us, Niantic. Edwin Lockhorse, fix your existing games and listen to your global community. Hear us, Niantic. NATO Mom, nope. Hear us, Niantic.
One-word responses.
Yeah.
Love it.
Here's Kachino Mum posting a screenshot of Kachino Mum. I really don't understand why they're wasting time with a knockoff Pokemon Go. The only reason Go has thrived in Pokemon is Pokemon. Remove Pokemon and you have nothing. Why would we catch periods when we can catch Toxicroaks? So I think she even shared her typo here.
Yeah, but the Peridot, you don't catch anything.
You breed them and you got to pay for it.
But you don't catch them. You can make a circle on the screen and they go down and they dig and they pull up a sandwich or a tennis ball.
It's shitty. And that kind of just brings me to, you know what? I have one more shittiness here. One more bit of shitty. Another famous person for being shitty. That's Count Jinsula. Says Niantic and Pokemon Go are having their worst year. It's bad enough where they won't be able to recover. Don't let any corporate shill or bootlicker fool you. The game is not in a good place, and maybe it's time we start moving on. All right, I want to talk about this.
If the game makes you upset, then don't play it.
So let's talk about last week's episode. I got all mushy at the end, right?
Yeah.
I got probably the most positive feedback of any episode we've ever done. Ever. From last week's episode.
Is this what you shared with me?
That was one of them.
Yeah, I literally teared up when you sent that to me. I was like,
it's been amazing because I let myself be vulnerable. I let myself be honest. And Adam,
you can't do that. You're a bootlicker.
I know.
You're
what is it? I enjoy other people's pain. Is that what it is?
You enjoy other people's misery, and you don't have it. You don't care about the rural trainer. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the rural trainer.
Ace Trainer Ferg in the chat says Pogo carries Niantic revenue-wise. Why does it feel like their focus is so spread out on other projects and not fixing their main game? Dude, it's a very valid question. It feels like that because Niantic is a larger company than just Pokemon Go that has teams all over the world doing different things. Team in France doing NBA All-World. You got a team in California doing Peridot. It's all over the place. It feels like Pokemon Go should be their primary focus because it makes the money. We've said this with the whole revenue thing we talked about last week too. Niantic is making decisions that are in the best interest of their vision, not in the best interest of their bank.
Yeah. Just think about how much money for just 2 seconds. Think about how much money they have made through Pokemon Go, through remote raids, when everybody was
billions
inside, couldn't go anywhere.
Billions and billions.
But billions. I mean, probably zillions. I don't even know if that is actually, but it's probably zillions of dollars. They're okay. They put enough away in their savings to where should Pokemon pull out, they can survive for a very long time. So that's why they're working on their vision, because they can.
You know what, Adam? That's actually a pretty good point. I'm
just my
but also
opinion.
That's not to say that Pokemon Go is still not a priority. It's clearly a priority. It's clearly still their flagship. But of course they want to release their own IP in Peridot. Of course they want to do great partnerships like NBA All-World or Marvel. These are good stuff. Yo, Mythical Hitch resubscribed. Wubba dub dub. Thank you, Hitch.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Subscriber for 26 months. Loyalty, son. What's up with that?
Wow.
Appreciate you, Hitch. It's I think that's a really good point, Adam. They're doing this because they can. They need to diversify. They're not a one-trick pony. What's going on with Peridot? It's not Pokemon Go. You don't have the guy who's coding PvP going, "Oh shit, I got to fix this dot." No. It's a different person.
No, my favorite thing is like, I don't know what I read, but it was just like Pokemon Go is going to die or is dying.
Oh, I see that a lot.
If you want to see a game that is dead but holding on to its last, like there's a thread and it's hanging on by a thread, is Draconius Go.
Will you stop with this stupid freaking
I know,
game?
I'm just saying I've held the same arenas, aka gyms, for what feels like 6 months.
Dude, their server can fit on a fucking thumb drive. That's why it's still open.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that is a dead game. If you would like to play a dead game, go to that game. Pokemon Go is not dead. It's nowhere near dead. It is thriving.
Mythical Hitch says the problem is that people who delete their Peridot account are losing their Pigo account. All right, so this was debunked. This was confirmed. We confirmed this with Niantic. That's not the case. People were saying, like, oh my God, they want us to play Peridot so bad, and they don't want it. They want us to move us all to Peridot. That when we delete Peridot, they deletes our Pokemon Go account. So we confirmed with Niantic that's not the case, because this is what was happening, and it was a very small amount of people this was happening to. They were removing their Apple or Google login to Peridot. But because their Apple or Google login was tied to their Niantic account, if it was the same Niantic account that was used on Pokemon Go, and they remove their Apple login, if they go to log into Pokemon Go trying to use their Apple login, it wasn't working because they removed it from their Niantic account. So they never deleted their Peridot account. They just removed their login, and then they couldn't log in Pigo. So it didn't. They confirmed two things. They confirmed that deleting one Niantic game will not delete another Niantic game, and it confirms that yes, your login methods tie if they're attached to your Niantic ID, tie from game to game. So if
makes sense though.
If you deleted Peridot and you can't get into Pokemon Go, use a different login method. There's safeguards in place that prevent you from removing all login methods, so you have that safety. But if you need to get in with an iOS account and you can't, there is a back door, giggity. You can log in to Pikmin Bloom and re-add your, iOS account to your Niantic.
Can you do that with Ingress?
Probably, yeah. My Ingress has been.
What about Wizards Unite?
Yes, definitely with that one. Definitely with Field Trip. Also, their Niantic's first app. Remember Field Trip?
What about
Truffle? You could use
Catan?
Truffle. Catan, yeah. Transformers Heavy Metal. So,
speaking of a dead game,
yeah,
no.
But look, a lot of negativity going on. A lot of attacks at me. Unfortunately, attacks at other creators.
Yeah, rightfully so. You deserve them.
Sure, I'll take it. I don't care. People calling me toxic. It's like, look, I'll say straight up, I don't believe anything I say is toxic. Do I poke the bear? Yeah. Do I call out people for being blatantly toxic? Yeah. Do I say it how I feel it? Yeah. But I'm not being toxic.
And I've been watching you, and a lot of your tweets are in response to somebody already being super effing toxic.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I'll put
if you're gonna be overtly toxic, Ken just comes in and he's just like, a whole new world, and he's trying to show you that like you can be positive. Like you're a clown by doing this. Like why?
Woodwose Wolf says, "Hey, that guy's asking questions. Shut him up." No, look. Here's the thing. I'll put out an innocuous tweet. Can't wait to play Peridot. Congratulations, team. And then everyone goes off. If someone, or I'll say, I'm going to Niantic. What do you think that they're going to show us? Blah, blah, blah. And someone responds with something cool or fun or constructive, they're going to get a meaningful response back. But if you come in bringing the heat, talking shit,
if you can't
bashing
stand the heat,
Niantic,
get out of the kitchen.
But you know what you're going to get?
And
you're
you
gonna
came
get
into Ken's kitchen.
That's the other thing. It's like you came into my house. And it's like, I'm not even going to be like a real dick to you. I'm just going to be dumb and give you like a stupid gif and just hit you with sarcasm. And that's what I'm toxic. That's why I'm so toxic, Cochino Mom. Because I tell people that say Niantic sucks, I respond with like Jackie Chan going, ah! You know, like that's why I'm toxic. Tish is in the chat. I'm wearing your Piggly Wiggly shirt. Tish got me this shirt. Shout out to Tish in the chat.
I don't have mine on. We couldn't match. I'm so upset right now.
Old timey gamer dad in the chat. He likes to light it up on Twitter sometimes with me. There's ways about sharing feedback. We've talked about this. If you come into my tweet, and look, do I go into other people's tweets and cause mayhem? Usually not. Usually not.
I feel like I did that.
You did that. I was like, oh shit, Adam's going in.
Well, listen, it's like Peridot. It's like, okay, well, they're like complaining and saying, here is Niantic on Peridot. And it's like, this is a totally different team that is doing this social. It's not Pokemon Go account that is tied to this, that they're like, it's somebody totally different. And they're just like, why are we being bombarded?
Yeah, yeah.
Different
team.
Like leave them alone.
Well, and
maybe try tweeting at Pokemon Go app and not at Peridot. Maybe just a thought.
Yeah, yep. Shout to Landor Alpha in the chat, says, this is what happens when you don't talk to Ken in person and try to get to know him. Shout to Joe Landor. That's right. That's right. Old-time gamer dad, it's all good and in fun, no disrespect. I know, dude. It's all good. Like, I commented on a Toshi chat or thread today, which I normally don't go. I normally don't go in there. But he wrote, like, hey, everybody, I don't know what's going to happen in the future of me, him, like, with Pokemon Go. He's just like, I just want everyone to know I love you. So I responded, I love you, too.
That's so sweet. You're
I
so
know.
sweet.
I'm so sweet.
Sometimes.
But Gloss said it perfect, and this is what I do. I just match their energy. I'm not going to, like, come back with them about, I'm not going to threaten them. I'm not going to take jabs at them. But 100% of the time, you're getting a dumb GIF. My GIF game has been fucking strong lately. So you come at me, you're getting a dumb GIF. I promise you. But it's unfortunate that people are, like, twisting Niantic with the Silph Road. They're still running on the remote raid pass thing. They're attacking the creators for visiting Niantic. Dude, I saw people taking shots at trainer tips. Like, oh, really? Really? Like,
did you not just see the video that he did about going? Where did he go? He went somewhere.
He goes all over.
Yeah, but he was just like, I'm going to some place where nobody watches my videos.
Yeah, exactly. I saw Mystic 7 like, he goes, I wasn't invited to the thing,
well, duh. Did you not post a video about spoofing? Like, come on. Why would?
That's what I said. I go, did you? I go, maybe it's because you made videos about cheating.
They're like, we don't need that energy.
But then, like, people were like piling into his chat, going, "This is who they send in instead," and it's me being stupid with some like out of context shit. It's like, this is who they send instead. So funny. All those new account videos. Oh, yeah, the new accounts. Yeah, all that good stuff. JT Valor in the chat, too. Old-time gamer dad. It's all good.
Yeah, we already said hi to JT Valor.
I know. Mythical Hitch, your beard game is getting as strong as your gift game. Yo, the beard is getting out of control, dog. It's crazy right now. It's crazy. But following up on last week, we had a bunch of people say, hey, I did put my phone down. I did take my kids out. I did spend quality time with my partner. And it was awesome. And hearing that feedback is amazing. I think
that happens.
Especially if the game is getting to you to the point where you're really upset and you're really angry. Yeah, take a freaking break. Cut back.
The
Stop
game
spending.
will still be there.
The game will still be there. But just coming out on like the thread bombing, like it's crazy. Peridot putting up a post and it's it hurts. It hurts
like
to
Ken
see.
said, if the game causes you this much frustration and Twitter, not even the Pokemon Go, if Twitter is causing you like to have a mental breakdown, delete Twitter.
Yeah.
Why are you still on Twitter?
Professor Claw, Ken telling people to quit is toxic as fuck.
No,
Look,
just take a mental
take
break.
a break.
Clearly, you need it.
Take a break. That's what I always say. Do anything else. Stand in the corner and just look at the corner. It will be less toxic than like, you being on Twitter spewing venom. It's like there's no need for that.
Go play Neopets.
Yes, bust
That's
out the
a good one.
Tamagotchi. Start playing The Sims or some shit. I don't know. Damn.
Play Minecraft.
Get some pork Taylor ham. People got mad at me calling it pork roll. They were like, it's Taylor ham, son. Oh man. Anyway, let's be friends, everyone. We can have fun on Twitter. There's no need to attack. There's no need to just because we think differently. If your intentions are what they are, regardless of how you get there, it would seem that you want the game to succeed. I want the game to succeed. Can we not?
I'd like to be playing this for
a
long.
I'd also like to be
years,
making content as long as we can about it.
Yeah.
All-time gamer dad goes, but I like being toxic on Twitter. The Twitter's hilarious.
Well, if you like it, then don't get upset.
Well, and that's the other thing.
With the GIFs.
That's the other thing. Like people that clearly don't listen to the show, going like, "I'll never listen to your show." It's like, one, you're not listening already. But two, if you listen, like people really think that I'm not critical of Niantic. They're like, you must.
No, they know. They know how we feel because I talk about it every week.
It doesn't matter. They don't don't listen, so they don't know.
Exactly.
That's what the problem is.
And honestly, one of the people that I was interacting with, I was like, you should listen because we do discuss it. It's not, you know what I mean? And he said, that's all, I'll listen.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
It's not as one-sided as you think.
Yeah, we might have gotten a new listener, so welcome. We appreciate you hanging out. You know who you are because we interacted on the Tweeterverse.
That's the thing. It's yes. Am I going to be hypercritical of Niantic on social media? Not as much as on the show, because we save that for the show. I drum up action and dust up, drum up all the dust on Twitter, and then we come talk about it on the show. That's why we have a show.
We just talk about our gameplay.
Yeah,
and what we're excited about. But sometimes it's hard to be excited about stuff, which is why I stepped away from the game for a while.
Havoc Bandit in the chat.
Because it wasn't exciting to talk about.
It's amazing how people who swim in cesspools complain about getting diseased. That's a good one. Know the territory
Coming in with
you're
the bangers.
Like, honestly, I know it's all in good fun. I don't take any of that shit personally. I know some people get very offended that...
Yeah, don't take life too seriously.
But also, it's like, be okay with me being okay with the decision Niantic makes.
But I'm not okay.
Dude, these people are not okay. Like, they are fucking... I don't know. Like, how many people
keep going.
The new one is
I just don't understand.
Dude, I put like maybe you just need a Snickers. That's the gif I've been sending people. Like, dude, you need a fucking Snickers, dog. Or it's like, do you need a hug? Like,
or just give him a Kit Kat.
Standing outside with the free hug sign.
Give me a break.
It's so funny, so funny. Silph Road leaving is sad. Yo, it is sad for sure, for sure. But everyone, I think that's gonna wrap up the show. Adam, you got anything else?
I don't know. Just talking about remote raiding makes me not want to remote raid.
So don't fucking do it, and we can move on.
Exactly. That's
all
what I'm
right.
saying.
Resolution. Da, da, da,
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie.
We resolved
I'm not gonna lie.
We resolved it.
Listen, Linda.
All you have to do is not play.
No, but that's the thing. If the remote raiding was still a thing, and I could do as many as I want, and they were priced back the way they were, I'd literally this whole entire show I'd be raiding. I'd have my phone open waiting for raids.
Shout real quick to Woodwoo's Wolf saying, thanks for the show. P.S. Elite Raids and EX gyms are still using map data from 2019 to determine if gyms are in a park. Professor Glaw following up saying OSM update needed badly.
Hashtag hear that, Niantic.
Guess who talked to to Niantic about OpenStreetMap.
But you didn't say anything about remote raids.
I didn't mention remote raids once, but I did talk about OpenStreetMaps a lot. I talked about Wayfarer a lot. We all shared different bits of feedback. I knew that no one was...
because Wayfarer will help the rural trainers.
That's exactly what I said. I go, you guys got to be ready for this because there's going to be an influx of reviewers. There's going to be an influx of Wayfarers. There's going to be an influx of people trying to build this from the ground up. You guys got to be ready. How could you do that with old-ass map? And Woodwoes, because of you, I knew to say the October OSM update only updated us to 2019. So it's like, yeah, thank you for the update, but like, dude, you got to do this once a quarter, man. That's the feedback I shared, by the way, out there.
You were not supposed to say that.
I can talk about that. I can talk about what I said to them.
You can't say that. We're going to get fired.
Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate your time with us. Please check out PokemonProfessor.com for everything that's going on with the show.
Everyone on Twitter.
Yep.
Please.
Yes. You can catch the video on demand of this on our YouTube. You can catch some clips from it on our social. Just check out PokemonProfessor.com for everything that's going on with the network or the show. You can email us, luredup@PokemonProfessor.com. You can leave us a text or a voicemail, 732-835-8639. Going to be hosting a Twitter space next week.
Not one of those.
Yep, one of those.
Uh-oh.
I was approached by very important people saying, we like your Twitter spaces. So I'm going to do another one. But yeah, thank you so much.
I don't think you can say that. That's
I can't fucking say that. The very important person was
say that.
It was the person at the airport. Yeah, it was the TSA guy.
The TSA.
They were feeling me up, going like, "I love your Twitter space."
It's like, really, really, I love it.
Oh, Brown Baller, thank you for the stream. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We really appreciate it. Please follow us on Twitch if you haven't already. Check out the VOD on YouTube. Subscribe to us there as well. We appreciate all of you. Really do helping us build up our Twitch. We're going to get this to where we can consistently stream and have a good content spread throughout the week. We'll get there. We'll build up this Twitch community. So thank you so much for everyone that made it in today. We really appreciate your time. And yeah, audio and video will be available this weekend for this show. So thank you so much. Adam, is that it?
I think that's it.
Keep training, trainers. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Adios.